Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Jean Bart. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this night when I was trying to get a video into Jean Bart was the worst night of the Jean Bart I have ever had. That should tell you everything you need to know about the match that we're about to have. No, this is going to be a solid match. I think you guys are going to enjoy. But seriously, you guys ever have that night? Like, I know I'm kind of unique. Well, I say unique. I'm not really unique. There's a lot of people like me out there that make content on the game. But I'm pretty unique in the sense of, like, I set out with a specific video in mind, right? Like, when I jump online, and I've said this many a times, like, if I'm just recording to record and I don't really care what video I get, I'll get a pretty good video, like, pretty quickly, usually. Because it's not really, like, something that I'm trying to get a specific type of video. Whereas, like, this one, when I set out with a specific video in mind, specific ship in mind, that sort of thing, that's when things go south for me. Because I end up trying, I think, too hard, and that gets me into trouble. I know, shocker. But right out the gate, I mean, we got a broadside madness. Can't really argue with that. Like, I'll take it. You're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. And he's not even looking like he's going to turn. So we're going to go ahead and get our first shot out. It's only 4,800. It's very, very underwhelming. But of course, he takes a shot at us. We did speed up and we turned away, so he gets nothing out of his shot. Now, here we have a shot at Edinburgh. Now, there's a fun story about this Edinburgh. He was on my team like the previous match. And he wasn't particularly amazing. So, I did say at the beginning of the match, you may have noticed that I had the comms on. I did warn my destroyers that Edinburgh is a radar Edinburgh, which is something you have to pay attention to because it'll catch people off guard. And if you get caught by that British armor piercing from a light cruiser in a destroyer, you're not long for this world. So you gotta be careful. But so far, so good. We've only lost very little hit points. We got an Akatsuki out here just on the outside of me being able to get a good shot at him. Instead, I go ahead and opt for the madness, assuming that this madness is going to continue on its course, maybe turn away here. And honestly, he just doesn't really do anything. But we get a couple of good pins on him, and we end up with 10K in the bank so far. So far, it's been a pretty slow start, and I'm not going to lie, watching all these torpedoes come through, just barely missing that Edinburgh sitting in his smoke is kind of hilarious, because that man's was begging for it. Oh, speaking of begging for it, hello, Nelson! Hold these for me. Now, as we try to push around to the left side, you'll notice that my team is kind of settled right here, right? Like, I'm trying to separate myself from my team a little bit, because my destroyer is going around the back side of the map, but my cruiser's sitting in a smoke screen, sitting here. My battleship's sitting here. This Nelson, I mean, what can you expect? You're in a Nelson, and you're just kind of sitting there in the middle of the map, letting everybody beat on you. I got a Citadel on him. The other guy got a Citadel, it looked like. Unfortunately, RNG was not with us on that one. And that's just the way it is with French battleships from time to time. Like, you're going to get shots that are absolutely absurd, and then you're going to get shots that make you want to throw your controller. There's not a whole lot of in between. It's either ridiculous laser beams or ridiculously horrific grouping. And both extremes are enough to make you just, like, lose your mind. One will leave you giggling because French magic bullets. Other will leave you wishing that you had literally done anything else. Now, we are running the Azure Lane Dunkirk on our Jean Bart, and you'll notice Akatsuki is spotted 5 kilometers away from our destroyer. I'm going to roll around the corner smartly. I'm not going to just YOLO around the corner. I'm just going to use the island here. Should be able to shoot over it. We switch over to HE, and we absolutely slap that man for half his hit points. We only landed 3 shells at point blank on a broadside destroyer. That's absurd. But we did our part. We slapped him. We got rid of most of his hit points. Bismarck is now literally broadside. So we're going to go ahead and get ready for that. You can see I'm keeping my eye on the destroyer, making sure he's not going to come around the corner on me. I do have a reload booster just in case, but we aim high here on the Bismarck, trying to get as many pins as possible. You'll notice that my destroyer, he turned tails and runs. Like, I get kind of it, why you would run there, because Bismarck started to charge in, but it's a Bismarck, right? Like, it's not the scariest thing in the world. Getting rid of a destroyer would have definitely been a beneficial thing to do. But is what it is. I can't make them do what I need them to do, right? At the end of the day, I'm in control of me. But as we are considering going forward, now that the Bismarck has been stopped, you see Tashkent has lost all of his hit points. I have no idea how. I have no idea how the Tashkent has lost all of his hit points. He had to have eaten a torpedo is the only thing I can figure. Because he hasn't fought anything. Like, I know that Bismarck didn't take all of his health. So the only thing that I can think of is he started shooting in a smoke screen and ate a torpedo. But you'll notice that Akatsuki is getting jumped by my teammate that's pushed forward into the middle over there. And he thinks he can get away, and then I'm, of course, right here as well. But, of course, he goes dark, and I'm like, come on. Just half a second longer, man. Half a motherfucking second longer. But now we've got an Akatsuki who's almost certainly got torpedoes left. I don't want to push into that, right? We already used our reload booster. We completely flubbed. It just needed half a second longer, man. But here, we're just going to go ahead and back off. We've got HE loaded still, just in case the destroyer gets spotted. He's not going to get spotted. So we're going to try to get rid of this Bismarck. We can swap over to AP once we get fully loaded if we need to. And you can see he is going to go broadside, so we're going to go ahead and load up that armor piercing. And this is why Dunkirk is so nasty, right? Of course, he gets a double fire on us, like, immediately. We get a nice solid penetration on him as well. But rather than pushing into the Akatsuki, there's nothing else here that's really going to benefit me, right? Like, there's no upside. What is the upside if I push into the Akatsuki that's almost dead, right? Fortunately, our Akatsuki gets rid of their Bismarck. There's no reason for me to be here. I'm going to go ahead and back out. I'm out, right? If I'm not going to get any support out there, I'm not going to push. There's no reason. So, as I push around to the corner, I'm going to push the enemy through the middle of the map. And you can see there's the torps. We knew they were coming, right? Like, this is why you got to have those little timers in your head. You know they're coming. It's an Akatsuki. He gets 9 torpedoes that reload pretty quickly. So, while my team is just kind of sitting here, I'm going to go ahead and make the decision to go ahead and push through, right? We're going to go right through the middle now. We've got, what is it, the Madness out there, and then the Edinburgh. So I'm going to put myself in position to crossfire the guys at the Charlie Cap, while also putting shots on the Edinburgh and the Madness. In theory. That's the goal. But you can see the Edinburgh, unfortunately, is behind the island. I don't really have a clean shot. The Madness is over there kind of beached on the island or thinking about going around the island. Can't really tell. But as the Edinburgh comes around the island here, I thought I had him. Like, I thought he was committed to kind of turning away to the left. He doesn't. He kind of stays the course, gets 3 overpins. Pretty lucky there. But you can see the Akatsuki gets spotted here. I mean, that should be death for him. Gneisenau's secondaries finish him off because he had no hit points. Madness is about to push around the corner. And, of course, we are loaded and ready to shoot him. So we go ahead and try to go through the bow side plating here as he comes around the corner over-angled. We get a solid result out of that shot. And we're not real worried about being mostly broadside here because at the end of the day, he's one ship, right? Like, what is he going to do to us? And as he finally starts to turn towards us here, we're going to just take the shot high. There's no reason to aim armor belt there and just ricochet a bunch. So we aim high, we get a solid result, but of course in true Spartan fashion, we got to leave him with just enough to continue being a problem. Fortunately, he's not going to be a problem much longer, because my battleships that sat there the entire time while I was asking for help, they decided to finally go over to that side after I left it. You got to live it. But Edinburgh out here is begging for it. We're going to go ahead and take a shot on him while he's in the island, or in his smoke screen. And he's going to try to take a shot at us. We get a much better result there. But of course, 3 overpins. It's always overpins. If I'm in the Edinburgh and I take any hits, no matter what angle, it just seems like I get citadeled, right? Now that being said, if you get caught broadside in Edinburgh, I don't care what ship you're shooting at you, you're done. But I didn't quite lead him enough here, unfortunately. So that's on me. But you'll notice that as I've put myself in a position to try to help the team on the right, they've kind of wrapped it up. Like, the enemy team has kind of fallen apart here. This Edinburgh is not in a hurry to shoot at me for some reason. I guess he's got a juicier target to shoot at over there. But again, I don't end up leading him enough here. I don't know why my shot was so far off. this night, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't leading people enough with my Jean Bart. And surely we can rectify that this time, right? Like, third time's the charm and all of that. And this is a much better looking sound. Boop! And of course, 3 more overpins. Even if I aim it perfectly, I still get 3 overpins. Come on, man. What is the... That is so rude. It's so rude. And now he's like, okay, I need to shoot this Jean Bart. Yeah, you do. But don't worry. I'm not done with you. So, we light him up. We know there's a carrier still out here, so we gotta get ready for that. We know that that battleship's on the right, so I'm just trying to put myself... I don't really care about the Edinburgh. It's mostly just to try to keep him off balance and work my way into a position of shooting at the rest of his team, aka the carrier and the battleship. But Edinburgh plays with fire one too many times, and that is all you need. Boop. You can only do it for so long. You eventually gonna get got. That's just the way it is. Like, if you stay broadside long enough, eventually you gonna get got. Speaking of getting got, hello, New Jersey. Now, New Jersey is angled away from us pretty well here, so we're just going to go superstructure. Just try to hit him wherever he's softest. And, of course, in true Spartan fashion, once again, not allowed to kill him. Gonna leave him with just enough. But that's okay, because I got a really fast reload. And I still have a reload booster, but I want to save the reload booster for the carrier. Because I have a feeling that I'm about to run into the carrier real soon. So we take another shot at the New Jersey here. And, of course, we end up finishing him off. Just barely! Those shells tried to miss the superstructure. Only landed 2 shells anywhere near the superstructure. Thankfully, that was all I needed to land. But, as we're going through the cap here, we're looking at getting some more XP. The Shokaku ends up taking down our Nebraska, which is unfortunate for the Nebraska, but good for me, because that's less that they're coming after me. Which means I get the cap. And, fortunately, I don't get the solo cap, I get an assist cap. But... I digress. The enemy carrier has now been spotted. And you guys know what that means. It's time to get rid of this little turd waffle. No planes allowed! Unless, of course, I'm the one with the planes. But I'm not. But look at that first shot. 21,000. 6 full pins and an overpin through the bow of that Shokaku. Of course, he hits me with 1 torpedo, gets a flood. We go ahead and use our reload booster to get another shot. And then, of course, we're not going to get nearly as much damage this time because bow is saturated and all that goodness. But we're going to get another good shot here. Just trying to get as many shells on target as possible. Unfortunately, the grouping isn't there this time. We knew we were going to continue to get attacked. I'm not too worried about it. We got heals, so I'm not worried about the flood necessarily. And so we just let it flood. There's no reason to DC it. But as we get closer, surely I'm going to be able to finish them off this time, right? Thank you. But we did our part. 145,000 damage is not too shabby. Of course, the carrier's coming back after us again. Remember, the Jean Bart has fantastic AA, so even if he's coming after me, what's the worst he's going to do? Right? Get a drop-off, all of his planes get shredded, and then I walk away. In theory. As he's circling back through a 100 AA rating to come try to drop me again. Fortunately, we don't have to wait for the destroyer. We win on points. But fun game overall. 145,000 damage, top of the leaderboard. Almost 3,500 base with 3 kills, Confederate, and a high caliber. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know. And if you like what I'm doing, punch a like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.